Hey, Sean Devlin, the Mortgage Juice Man, coming at you with Wonderful Wednesday. Been doing the 1003 week. We're going over the 1003 this week. Today, hopefully, is a little bit shorter, but been going through section by section. If you have not checked out the input that I'm giving and the little tidbits on each section on the blog, themortgagejuiceman.com, check it out. Pretty cool stuff going on down there. Would love to have your input. All right, here we go. We're on section 3 today, which actually starts on page 4. So it's REO section, ladies and gentlemen. Remember on page 2, page 3, section 2, is where your liabilities went. And it only included, it did not include the mortgage. So on page 4 in the REO section, this is where your mortgage is going to go. Now, up at the top, it does say in clear bold, if you are refinancing, lists of property you are refinancing first. Pretty self-explanatory. Or it says, I do not own any real estate. Check the box if you're buying a purchase and you don't own anything already. You move on to the next page. Ultimately, if you have REO, page 3 is dedicated to it. Nice looking chart. Basically itemizes the property value, the status, the HOA costs. Okay. The status meaning listed, sold, pending, own, so primary, whatever. Underneath that, it basically breaks down the creditor, obviously, the account number, the payment, the unpaid balance, and a box that needs to be checked if you are paying it off at closing. The type of loan that it is, conventional, USDA, FHA, etc. They want to know this stuff. And then a credit limit, assuming it is a HELOC, if applicable. So I like it. It's got the main area first. Details all about the property that you are doing the loan on, if it's a refi. Underneath that, it has 2 more boxes, identical to the first. And I like the way that the Channel 3 charts show up in each section. So I think they did a really good job in developing this new 1003. I really like it. Ultimately, you could have a continuation sheet, assuming they had more than 3 properties. It's just something that, you could do another page 3 if you would. Otherwise, the borrower's name goes at the bottom left-hand side. So again, to identify that page to a specific borrower. Remember, from the looks and the way that this is unfolding, based on the new 1003, every applicant has their own 1003. No longer is multiple borrowers on the same 1003. You either have the main borrower and they're identifying that it's single, or you're having the main borrower identifying in section 1 that it's a joint application, they initial it, and they put the name on it. Then you have the missus who would have an additional 1003. They're the additional borrower. It is a separate 1003. You guys have to know this. Okay. So, basically, that's page 4. Pretty self-explanatory. Boom. REO section done. We go to page 4. Page 5, excuse me. Page 5, section 4. Here we go. Loan and property info. I like this. Some new things on this page. Again, set up like a chart. I love the charts, the way this is set up. Loan amount, purpose of the loan, purchase, refi, and then other. I'm not so sure if other is to indicate for cash out or not, but it does indicate refinance, purchase, and then other. Then it lists the property address. Ultimately from there, there's a number of units, column, and then a property value that is in bold. So again, kind of making it stick out. And then it says occupancy. Now there is 4 options, believe it or not, for occupancy. So primary, secondary, investment, or an FHA secondary residence. So there's 4 different options. If it was an FHA secondary residence, you'd have to check that box. Pretty self-explanatory. And then at the bottom of this chart, there's 2 unique questions. This is page 5, and it is the loan and property information. So the first thing it wants to know is it mixed use? It specifically asks if you occupy the property and then set aside space within the property to operate your own business. And gives a couple of examples, like a daycare, a medical office, beauty or barber shop. So, yes or no, check the box. Pretty self-explanatory. And then manufactured home. Is the house a manufactured house? Yes or no? Pretty self-explanatory. I like it. That is 4A. And then 4B, other new loans on the property you are buying or refinancing. So it does have a box for does not apply, but you might be asking, well, why would they have other loans on a property they're buying? Well, if they have secondary financing or a seller holdback, a seller carryback, if you will, second, that would be listed there. Has a creditor, a subordinate lien or first lien checkbox, monthly payment, loan amount, and credit limit if applicable. Pretty self-explanatory. And then 4C is the rental income on the property you want to purchase. And it says for purchases only. And then either has a does not apply box or you need to fill it out. And you would fill this out anytime you are completing, if the property is a 2 to 4 unit primary residence or investment property. So, nice. Expected monthly rental income is there. You would just put whatever it is. And then underneath it is a gray shaded box. And it says for lender to calculate expected net monthly rental income. And then they would enter that information. So the lender does that. Interesting. And at the bottom of page 5 of the new 1003, you have gifts or grants you will be given or receive for this loan. Again, a does not apply box is up at the top. It includes all gifts and grants below under sources. And then it gives a list. I love the way these charts flow. Guys, LOs. Look, the Channel 3, the new Channel 3 is like a cheat sheet for you. If you didn't know, like, what kind of assets somebody could have on an application, or if you didn't know, like, these kind of gifts and grants that can exist, it lists them. And who is it from? So, could be a community, nonprofit, federal agency, state agency, local agency, employer, religious, nonprofit, church, say they're giving you a down payment, relative, unmarried partner, other. So it has several different options of who would be giving you a gift. Pretty self-explanatory. It says the asset type, whether it's deposited, whether it is not deposited, the source, and then the cash or market value of that gift. And of course, at the bottom of page 5, there is a signature line, or again, a name line for the borrower that it's associated with. Again, each page seems to identify it because if you have all these pages, you want to be able to look at the bottom left and see which 1003 page belongs to which borrower. Because there's multiple 1003s on this new 1003, multiple pages to them all. Again, no multiple borrowers on a 1003 anymore. It's just one single person, and if there's additional borrowers on the loan, they have a separate 1003. I mean, it changes the game a little bit. It does add more work to your workload. But it's just more paperwork to fill out. A little bit, it flows nicely, it really does. Tomorrow, we're probably going to wrap it up. And then Friday, I'm going to do my recap, and I'm going to highlight all the points that I think are really stick out that you guys need to know about. Have yourself a wonderful day, as I always say. Share, interact, like, repeat. As always, so well, I'm getting on the phone. I'm in the office, taking your I got a guy questions and helping scenarios come to life. Let's do some business. Get on point with Blue Point. Have yourself a wonderful day. So well.